Hey everybody, it's Darth Samurai here. Let's have some fun. I'm gonna do an outlandish comparison here. Um, I have my Ultrasabers Dark Initiate V3, and I have my Sabertrio Arclyte. This is an RTS saber, a ready to ship saber that I acquired during the holidays. It was the only RTS saber that was still available. Um, it just happens was something that I definitely would have bought probably anyway. So that all worked out. And you've seen my custom Initiate V3. Now the reason why I have these two stunt sabers in front of you is because believe it or not, there's some remarkable similarities between these two hilts. First things first, take out my crappy falling apart school ruler, and I'm gonna try to measure these things, give you an idea what we're looking at here. So the Initiate V3 is a whopping 9 3/4 inches long. In the Arclyte, mind you, the Arclyte actually has the mirror pommel, so it's a little bit longer than your standard Arclyte. But right to the end of the pommel, not including the little nubbin at the end that holds the tassel in place, that's about 10 1/4 inches. So we've got about ½ inch difference between these two hilts. But I've noticed some similarities between them. Obviously, there are quality differences, and I'm going to rotate these to make it more logical. We want logic, don't we? The world needs logic. If we don't have logic, then we don't have logic. Alrighty then. So what do we got here? We've got, if I line them up, if I line the blade holders up, the emitters, we've got some similarities here. You get your little similarities in the way it has, the general shape and the grooves and whatnot. Obviously, there's a hell of a lot more detail on the Arclyte. Yeah. And it is what it is. I don't need to explain things to you. Your eyes work. But where they really get kind of similar is in how this particular pair of sabers handles. They both have very similar choke points. I bet you didn't know that. But you didn't know that they were so darn similar, did you? Did you? Well, they are. And they handle very, very, very much the same. I actually have the Sabertrio here has the standard, they have this kind of a trans white blade. It's 32 inches, heavy dueling blade that pretty much comes kind of standard, sort of, for Sabertrio. And their blades are phenomenal. I would put this blade on par with a Vader's Vault blade any day of the week. And I have both now, so I can vouch for that. I really like trans white blades. I actually like this is an Ultra Edge, blade, Ultrasabers, Ultra Edge, medium. Getting my terminology mixed up. Yeah, that's the thing with Ultrasabers. They just have so many different names for their blades. It gets a little confusing. This is the medium grade Ultra Edge blade, and I do really, really actually like Ultrasabers blades. Although buying them singles, I think they're a little bit overpriced. A blade like this from Sabertrio. The medium grade version, I think this is heavy, but the medium grade version only runs like $15 a pop, so that's not bad. It's just the shipping you have to get past. But I like both these blades, but trans white blades I think they're the way to go. They kind of, if you can kind of see the difference between the two. This just has sort of your basic polycarbonate finish to it. It's just smooth, whereas with the trans white blades, it's kind of sanded. Has this kind of a coarse feeling to it, although it's not really coarse. It's just sort of, you can feel it has a tactile feel. And I don't know, the way they diffuse it, I just really like the way the light distributes on the trans white blades. They tend to have more of a full look to them. So if you don't have any trans white blades, Sabertrio and Vader's Vault are two really good options for purchasing those types of blades, and they're pretty much my favorite type of blade. So anyway, so getting back to the differences between these sabers, obviously the Initiative V3 has that one extra choke point there, which is really nice. But the basic trigger sections are very similar. The Initiative V3 has your standard AV switch here, and the Arclyte uses a similar sort of AV switch, although this is recessed into the hilt. So it's a little bit less obtrusive when handling. Your hand tends to ride right over this, and there's really no issue with inadvertently turning the saber on or off. Actually, the same can be said for the Initiative V3, although it protrudes, which is a bit of a hindrance, but not really. I mean, you're not gripping the saber with a strangling grip. You're traditionally, you're kind of handling it sort of loosely, as anybody that you may have seen with any kind of skill. I'm not claiming to be one of those people, but you're really sort of not gripping the saber. You're letting it float around in your hand to a degree. That's the only way that you can actually do any degree of spins successfully without looking too darn foolish. Hopefully whenever I do my videos, I don't look too foolish. I mean, I don't claim to ever be terribly skilled. I'm more of a swordsman than anything else, so I'm not that creative. Get in, get out. That's sort of my approach to swordsmanship. Anyway, so handles. Obviously, the Initiative V3 that I have here is customized with a leather wrap, or probably a faux leather wrap, and the pommel's very, very simple, just a standard closed end, because no sound, and usually it's just sort of this sort of width, just sort of continuing down here, but this is much better with the wrap. So that's the thing about Ultrasabers. They're infinitely customizable. They're so simple, and I really, really wish... Okay. I wish this thing would stop rolling. I'm really OCD. Let's see if this works. Ha! Victory! Victory! All right. So, yeah. Where was I? I don't know. Oh yeah, Ultrasabers customization. They're very similar hilts, or not similar. They're very simple hilts. And they're inexpensive, so people just go in there and they knock themselves out, and they do all kinds of crazy things to them. They weather them, they anodize them, they paint them, customize them, put thingies on them, add stuff, do wraps, whatever. Who cares? It's not like you're besmirching a work of art. I mean, but I've seen people do the same treatment to $600 to $800 Vader's Vault sabers. It's just people like to do customization. I'm super extremely lazy. I do not. Yeah, back to the Arclyte here. So with this saber, you have kind of this knurled handle here. And on this particular version, they actually kind of sanded it, so it's very smooth, but you can hear that texture. And if I can get this in and get it to focus, this pattern, it's very much like what you see on the Ultrasabers Fallen design. And I quite like this. I quite like this type of handle. This is very, very nice. And then as far as the rest of the Arclyte goes, as I said, it finishes off as a Mira would, and it has a little tassel. These things tend to fall apart after a while, so I'm almost considering removing this thing at some point, lest it disintegrates on me. And my cat really, really likes these. So it's kind of storing these things is a little bit difficult, short of putting them on a wall mount or something. You have to be very careful that these don't fall apart with age. But this particular saber came with a sort of a chrome version of this. The when they were originally selling it, I had a black version, but Sabertrio had noticed that there was a dent, so they were trying to machine a new one, but it was taking too much time because things were starting to go south at that point. So I just told them to send me this, and it kind of made for a nice, a nice aesthetic, choice. And I actually preferred it to what they were originally selling. So, got two very, very lovely sabers. One being just slightly lovelier than the other. And my apologies, it's still kind of daylight out. I've done nighttime LED displays on both these sabers, but I'm actually going to turn the lights out and kind of give you the feel for how bright the blades are. I will tell you right off the bat that the Sabertrio Arclyte is the brighter of the two, without a doubt. The LEDs are just phenomenal in Sabertrio sabers. You see, I'm kind of giving Sabertrio some love tonight because I felt bad. I didn't have any of my Sabertrio sabers in my my top 5 sabers list, mostly because as I said earlier, I have 3 stunt sabers, and I have my Reaver, which is an FX saber, and I have my Aaron, which is it has the older soundboard. It has the Nano Biscotti V4, so even though it's NeoPixel, it doesn't really have effects or features or anything like that. And I've been wanting to get some other Sabertrio products, but obviously under the current circumstances, that's been next to impossible at this point. And any of those sabers may have ended up on my list, but don't get me wrong, I love all my Sabertrio sabers. I've been taking them out and kind of playing with them tonight. And yeah, anyway, so let's turn the lights out, turn the sabers on, see if I can avoid knocking over the chair that I got all tangled up in. I don't know where my kitty is. I figured he would have been here by now. He's probably still asleep on my bed. He's my little sentinel. So the Initiate V3, that has a violet amethyst blade, and I really love the color of that blade, or the LED rather. The LED color on my Arclyte is amber, and it is stupid bright. That might have a lot to do with the fact that it's using the trans-white blade. If I put the trans-white in here and swap them, which if it weren't logistically a little bit too much of a pain in the butt to deal with, I might be inclined to do that. But I am not going to do that. You might see that they even out a little bit in brightness. It's actually darker in here than I thought it was going to be. And as far as spinning, I'll do these one at a time. The Arclyte spins like a dream. It has a really good weight, really good balance with a 32-inch blade. I find that throwing a 32-inch blade on pretty much every saber that I own has increased its balance exponentially, made it so much more, just so much more balanced and easier to handle. So, yeah, this is a fine dueling saber, without a doubt. Whoops. Dunk, dunk. Dunk, dunk. And so is the Initiate V3. I never thought that a lower end Ultrasabers hilt like this would be something that I would cherish, but I really, truly love this saber. It is excellent. And it's actually a little bit better balanced than the Arclyte. I know. Hard to believe, huh? Alright. Let's go get the lights back on again. Wrong light. Alright, there we go. So, the other thing is, the Arclyte is utilizing a lithium-ion 18650 battery. It has that wonderful chassis system that Sabertrio uses on their stunt sabers, where you can remove the pommel, and the chassis that holds the battery meshes with the internal screw that attaches to the cover tick wheel, and it has a groove and it slides in, so that doesn't move around at all. So you can kind of this is a bad example, but what you're hearing is actually the tassel moving around, but you don't hear any rattling around in there. Everything is firm. That is a wonderful thing that Sabertrio does. And on the Initiative V3, the batteries it just has a four AAAs in that little chassis that just kind of floats around in there. But I have it wrapped in material to kind of keep it from moving around. Oh, there it goes. It's moving around, making me look completely foolish while I was giving it the biz. Yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing you're going to encounter with your Ultrasabers, and there's nothing for it. Let's see, I can't get that off. I was going to try to get it off and see what's going on in there, but forget about it. So there's a highly unusual comparison, just to see what's going on here. Now, the thing is, as far as pricing goes, obviously you can't purchase these right now, but I don't remember what I spent for the RTS version that I have here. I think it was something like $119. I'm not too sure. I don't remember. Whatever it was entirely worth it. But if you get the basic Arclyte, one of the standard finishes, with probably they also have a version, a chassis that utilizes the four AAAs. But again, it's sort of a similar chassis to the one that they use for the lithium-ion battery. I think it's only like $79. And this, I think, runs something like $65, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe $55. I think initiates maybe are $55. And then you get the upgrade to the AV switch. That's like another $15. And then you add, I believe it's $5 for the violet amethyst. So what do you got? You're up to $55, $65, $70, $75. $75 for this, $79 for that. Now, the main difference being that this comes from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and shipping usually runs you on the order of $40, $45, somewhere around there. Now, when I initially bought my first Arclyte, I decided not to get the blade because I saved on shipping, and obviously you knock off a bit for the blade. But given the quality of the blades that this company provides, I just pay for the extra shipping now, and I pay for the blade, and that's the way to go, because I really think that Sabertrio's blades are very, very high quality, and they're worth the financial inconvenience. And then of course with Ultrasabers, you get the luxury of more or less picking the blade that you want. But here's the thing that kind of stinks about the Initiates. The Initiate sabers generally come with a standard 24-inch blade. If you want to get a 32-inch blade, they bump it up by $10. So there you go. You're already up to, what are we up to? Like $85 for what you have here, plus shipping, which is usually going to be about $23. And then, so what you end up with is spending within $10, maybe $20 more for this than this. And obviously you get the quality of a Sabertrio. So this is not turning out very well financially for Ultrasabers. But hey, I'm just calling out the facts. I just want everyone to know what they're dealing with when they're buying these things from Ultrasabers as opposed to Sabertrio. Anyway, the other pros and cons, obviously customer service for Ultrasabers right now is a hot mess. I don't really want to get into that too much. Suffice to say, there are a number of videos out there. I've produced several. I'm kind of trying to get off my addiction to Ultrasabers customer service videos and currently failing miserably. Yeah. Sabertrio, obviously they've been shut down for a good long while, and it's just sucked. It sucked for Sabertrio. It sucked for fans of Sabertrio. But as a devout customer for Sabertrio, when they come back, I'm all in. I'd really like to get a Mira. I have two Miras, but they're both Stunt Sabers. Either I'm going to get an install done on one of my Mira Stunt Sabers. I already know which one. Or I'm actually going to buy an FX or a CFX Mira. And I might guess Skylar. As I've mentioned previously, I'm not all that interested in the Vectra, but yeah, maybe someday. I don't know. It's like I have to pick my battles, and I don't really have all that much money, although it seems like I do because I do buy a lot of sabers. But I'm always looking for bargains, and I don't really buy my sabers too often new. I've been doing that a bit with Ultrasabers. There's some Ultrasabers I still want to buy. But right now, things are kind of tough. Hours are being cut back at my place of business. I don't really feel in danger of being laid off, but I am going to be making a bit less money. So there's going to be a bit of moratorium on purchases. So everything that I have coming is stuff that I've had coming for a while, and things are sort of shipping very slowly, especially if they're coming within the United States. The next thing I expect to receive is my Ultrasabers Empress pre-order, because apparently that's supposed to ship by the 15th. That's a firm date from Ultrasabers, so I'm going to take them at their word, and hopefully I'll receive that soon. And there's a few other things that I hope to see soon, but anyway, so that's the complete DL on everything Saber-wise that I'm aware of. And, and we've got May the 4th coming up, so I'm hoping, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I'm hoping that Sabertrio, holds to tradition. I still think that they have the capacity to produce a limited amount of sabers. I'm really hoping that they do some RTS offerings in that event. I'm hoping I can muster up enough cash, maybe from a tax return or something, that I have to finally do that this week. I've been procrastinating. If I do that, I might get something unique from them. That's predicated on Electrum Sabercrafts. I'd really like to get an EvoFlex Neopixel. That's a lot of things I want to buy, but I don't have enough money to get one of those. So I might just get myself like an FX Saber or something, like a Mira FX Saber, go on the cheap. And yeah, I've kind of rambled on quite a bit, so I gotta let you guys go. This video ended up a lot longer than I thought it was going to be, but I hope it was fun for you. It was fun for me, and that's the name of the game. Let's have fun. Everybody have fun, because the opposite of fun is to wallow in misery and despair. And I think there's enough of that going around. I think we can just kind of avoid that as much as possible. So let me kind of give you a little bit more of a tour of these two sabers that I love. I love all my sabers, but sometimes you love certain ones more. I just found it interesting how similar these sabers were. And and then you get this nice, unique, and strange video comparing two sabers that really have probably never been in the video together before. How's that? Do you like those beauty shots? Anyway, so I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna get on with my night. I've got some gaming plans. I'm gonna sink myself into some World of Tanks, have a couple beers, forget about this world, go onto the battlefield, and probably get my butt whooped. Working on my Swedish tanks. Anybody out there play World of Tanks? If you do, hit me up. I play on Xbox One under the gamer tag of CrypticParadigm. So if you see CrypticParadigm on the battlefield in World of Tanks and you're playing on Xbox, hit me up. Maybe we can platoon. Go ahead and friend me. Just let me know who the hell you are. Because I generally don't platoon, but if I know you, maybe I will. Anyway, so that's the end of this video. I hope everyone has a wonderful evening. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe, do all the right things. Let's get over the curve here. Let's get this COVID-19 garbage over with, and get on with our lives. And hope everyone's doing well. So that ends this video. And I'll talk to you later. All right. Bye now.